questions regarding this. Road bound 6.48. Okay, first question I have is, do the players or the parents have to sign off on anything? Like when they, and if they do, what happens if a parent doesn't want their kid filmed?
Through the chair, I spoke to my rep about this.
Okay.
I actually have I have notes on all of the questions that you guys sent me.
Okay.
So I can go through them all if you'd like.
Sure.
So they handle it in two ways. They do post signage in the lobby as a disclosure. The same way they compare it to if you've attended like a live pro sporting event. On the back of your ticket, there's a very similar disclosure that you may end up on the Jumbotron during the game. You don't sign off on that, obviously. However, they kind of treat the facility manager as like a gatekeeper of sorts. So should someone bring it to the facility's attention that, hey, I'm not comfortable being on film tonight.
So somebody on site.
I have I receive technology from them. I can do it as simply as from my phone. I can shut the stream off right away.
Okay.
So I can turn it on and off at the push of a button.
Okay. In the contract, I read that basically they're covering all of their equipment and stuff like that. But do they require us to have any sort of IT infrastructure in place that we'll need to add to accommodate this?
Through the chair, Live Barn does provide their own internet line through the local ISP. They maintain that line and any issues that may arise with it at their cost.
Okay. And after reading, like I said, I think I like this contract. Any sort of advertising we're required to do, I think we should put that code on there so we can maximize the amount of people that we get covered for.
Through the chair, the way they simply incentivize you is, the more money, the more memberships or subscriptions that they get, the more money they make, the more money we make, because essentially it's a 20% cut onto.
But I thought it was only if they use our code.
Correct.
Okay.
So the point is like we need to push our code,
Right.
Which is the way they
Yeah,
incentivize you to get all of your.
Anything we are required to put advertisement on, I suggest we put that code on there so we can maximize our 20%.
Yes, sir.
That's the only questions. Councilman Bezura?
I think you had answers to some of the other questions that were posed to you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to just go ahead and.
Let's see. Yours. Okay, I do not see.
One of them was regarding somebody else's ability to use Twitter, to use Facebook, to use some form of social media. Are they going to be in violation of this, and is that going to be a problem for you and your people going forward, trying to manage what people can and can't do on their own social media accounts?
Through the chair, Councilman Bezura, the way that their exclusivity agreement works is they clearly state that it does not, it excludes manned cameras. So if someone is holding an iPhone on Facebook Live or any type of phone, handheld camcorder, that is completely acceptable by their standards. Their exclusivity only deals with unmanned cameras. So I can't have anyone else basically nail a camera to a wall and leave it there and stream. Anyone with an iPhone, that's perfectly acceptable by their standards.
Okay.
So through the chair, a grandfather or somebody can come in and set up a tripod and video.
Yeah.
I have other questions too.
Sure, go
Okay,
ahead.
are you
Yeah.
finished? 6 years, that's quite a long time for the term of this contract. For greater certainty, the said exclusively shall apply for the 6-year period, even if the venue owner elects to terminate this agreement pursuant to subsection 2.2 above, prior to the expiration of the term. So I'm not sure what that means. If we decide we don't want to do it anymore, it continues on or something. I'm a little confused on that.
Through the chair. The way they operate is it's a 90-day written out, so I can, at any point I can terminate with them. However, that 6-year term strictly means that I cannot get my 90-day out with them and sign on with another unmanned service. Currently, there is no other unmanned service of this magnitude. They're actually in over 1,200 sports facilities right now. It's actually becoming very popular. We're actually kind of late to the game on this, in a sense. But there is a 90-day out at any time, which would terminate the contract. But I am exclusively still could not go with anyone but Live Barn for the continuation of that 6-year term.
I did research and look up to see what cities around our area have them, and it's Trenton, Lincoln Park, Southgate, there's Troy, Bay City, Mount Clemens, Southgate Big Bears Arena in Sault Ste. Marie, Saginaw. So there, there are some in our area here. Was not able to contact any of them to find out what their opinion was of Live Barn. Will we have Carl doing some of the advertising or, the marketing part? Is this going to be part of his job then, is to add that with his current marketing?
Mr. Chairman, yeah, whatever the Sportsplex and Darren's team needs, Carl will be there to support them. I don't know if we know all of those answers right now, but anything that we can do in-house to help the cause, then we will do that.
I also looked at some reviews, and there was actually 2 more positive than there were negative. But these were all from 2019, and I don't know how long had they been around to go, 2020, but a lot of them are poor streaming quality. It would be nice if they could have the camera look at the screen because there's nobody there, correct? There's nobody manning this camera to go over and look at the scoreboard when or being down here when they score and whoops, they scored down here instead. So it's kind of like you get what you get out of the videoing.
Through the chair, they're actually starting, I believe I think it was October of 2019, they changed their technology up a little bit to address some of those concerns. There's now 3 cameras posted instead of just 1 at one end. So there's 1 at each end, and then there is a object tracking camera in the middle. So it actually will, whether it's a puck, a soccer ball, a basketball, it likes to pan with the action, the movement. So a lot of those issues, I've read many of them as well. I did my fair bit of research on this. A lot of those issues, actually, they've worked very hard to resolve. I use this service. I have my own subscription to it. I think it's fantastic, and my primary reason for trying to push this is that there's going to be, amidst this pandemic, there's going to be a lot of new rules laid on sports facilities, limitation on capacity. Someone lays down a rule with allowing 25 to 30 people in one arena at any given time. If there's a sports team of 20 kids, I can't have those parents in there with them. And if I was a parent, I probably wouldn't want to drop my child off at a sports facility for his practice and not be able to see what's going on if I wanted to check in. And I think that's my primary concern with this. That's my prerogative in this, is giving them the opportunity to at least say, all right, at least I can go on my phone on Live Barn and make sure my child's on the ice or on the soccer field.
And this is going to be for hockey and soccer. It's going to be in all the arenas that are at the Sportsplex?
They're in
So whether there's a soccer game going on or a hockey. The other thing is I don't know if people, know, because we haven't done it yet, but there is a monthly a subscription for it, and it's $14.95. So if you want to go back and look at your child's game that they did or whatever, I think you get a 30-day free thing. But like anything, free goes out, and so you're paying $14.95 just to let those residents know that if you do get this, that's what you're going to be paying. And you can only go back 30 days. So if I forgot to, record it or do whatever on my son two months ago or 3 months ago or whatever, it's gone. I can't get it. So I don't know if you can if you can go through Live Barn, if they have that. I don't know that logistics of it.
Through the chair, it's almost like they have memory, 30 days worth of memory, but you can clip anything you want. Let's say your son or daughter had the most incredible highlight you've ever seen. You can clip and take from there. There's actually a lot of, I've watched a fair bit of hockey highlights, youth hockey wise, where they're clipped directly from Live Barn. You'll even see the little Live Barn watermark in the bottom right corner. So while their memory capacity is 30 days, if you clip it, you can have it forever.
And explain to me what that clipping means. What do you mean? Somebody that doesn't know.
So if you're watching a stream of a hockey game and it's 2 hours, it's a 2-hour game, 2-hour time block. But let's say your son had a goal at 14:47 of the second period. I can narrow it down to that and just cut that down to 30 seconds and save it to my computer and show my friends later.
But before 30 days.
Before 30 days. And what I really like about the whole 30-day thing is it does provide another means of security. Should there be a fight in there, really anything that could possibly go on in there, suspected theft of something, it puts 3 more cameras in there.
Okay, I also have on 7.10, each party shall keep the terms contained herein confidential, and neither of its directors, officers, employees, agents, or representatives, where applicable, shall disclose the terms contained herein without the express written consent of the other party unless such disclosure is required by applicable law. Now, I just read that. Does that mean I wasn't supposed to say that? Is that the contract itself? I mean, you know, we're not allowed to, no one's allowed to go out and say, hey, this is what's in the contract?
Primary meaning of that is the percentage. Yes, it is the contract, but the primary purpose of it is the percentage terms on the money back to us.
Oh, okay.
We negotiated a different cut than their average.
Some other cities might get a lesser percentage.
And that is the point of we had long talks with them. Actually, I will even go as far as to say one of the gentlemen who runs Bell Tire Hockey, he was disappointed with their original offer to us, so he went as far as to tell them, this is a premier facility, we do a lot of sports. So they do essentially negotiate different rates, and that is the point of the confidentiality portion of it.